Houston are no longer the worst team in the entire Overwatch League. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Stylosa. Now look at these hero bands in the bottom left. We've got McCree, we've got Widowmaker, we've got Reinhardt, and we've got Moira. Now what is critical to notice here is these bands destroy the current pro meta. In fact, it completely wipes the floor with it. It's just a total clean slate. Now, in this video, what I want to talk about is the relationship between hero bans at the pro level specifically, and how that radically changes the game. And Overwatch League right now is the best it has ever been. Now, we've only seen a few of the teams play. Literally, at the moment of recording this video, we've only seen the games on the Saturday. I've not seen the games that have happened on the Sunday of the Washington homestand, the second Washington homestand, which is, of course, the first homestand to feature these hero pools or hero bands, if you like to call them, because they're effectively, that's what they are, the hero bands. You can't play these heroes. So what has happened to a team like Houston Outlaws and a team like Paris Eternal? Now, Paris were incredibly good at the old meta. This was where Mei was used heavily. Reinhardt was obviously the main go-to tank. You had Diva was involved, but Mei was the critical component there. There were other heroes you could throw in, but it was all basically built around Mei. The synergy between their tank, Bembest, and their Mei player was just extremely good. I mean, they destroyed Spitfire. They made Spitfire look terrible. Spitfire has since kind of bounced back, but Houston were getting absolutely bodied by every single team. They put a good showing up against Spitfire, it has to be said, but they still lost the game. And at the end of the day, that's all people remember. So what is going on here? Well, what is happening is Blase is on the Soldier 76. Now, I'm a massive fan of Soldier. You guys know this. Like, he's just such a... I love that hero. He's amazing. And he's getting played at Overwatch League level. And in fact, he was played throughout all of the games throughout Overwatch League yesterday, which is a first for Soldier. In fact, it's the first time he's been played this year, instead of like actually played in the game and not just used to run back to the point to contest. Because, you know, lock the legs, run back to the point, that's all that was really happening. But there also is one thing I'm going to point out to you guys, which is probably going to make you go insane. If you look in the bottom left-hand corner at the player icons, they're not aligned for some reason. It's a bit of a spectator bug, hopefully, that gets fixed, because it's really annoying. Especially if you're like ultra OCD, you're looking at that now and you're like, oh no, Sty, why have you told me that? But anyway, Soldier 76 is getting played. So what does this mean for a team like Houston? Well, simply put, it means the meta is no longer the meta. So what this actually rewards now, and this is going to happen going forward with Overwatch League, because remember, every single week we get a brand new different set of banned heroes for the next week. It means the meta is its own little microcosm every week. It means the teams that can be the most flexible will be the teams that will get the best results. Now, Houston looked terrible, but now Houston are showing their sort of brilliance. Flame, the GM, was actually on Twitter going, hey, look at this. I picked up a load of DPS and people were laughing at me, but look at it now. We've got so much variety that we can actually play with. So let's take a look at what's going on in this game. We've got Soon on, sorry, not Soon. Soon does play for Paris. Like, I'm obsessed with Soon on Tracer. It's a shame that he wasn't playing in this particular map, although he did play in the series, I believe. Or did he actually? No, I don't think he did. No, don't quote me on that, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, everyone likes to hear Soon and all that stuff. And see, well, they like to hear Soon. Anyway, we've got the Tracer and we've got the Sombra. This is the DPS backbone of Paris Eternal. They've gone for dive tanks, but that's similar for Houston. This is because Reinhardt is banned. So Ryan was very strong in the meta. A lot of the teams are sort of defaulting back to dive. So tank-wise, it is a mirror matchup. DPS-wise, it very much isn't, because you've got Soldier and you've got Tracer on Houston against the Tracer and the Sombra of Paris Eternal. And then, when you look at the supports, it's completely different. Houston are running with a very unconventional support line, to be honest. You've got Zen and you've got the Brick. Now, there's not a lot of healing there. Soldier adds a little bit of healing for himself, but overall, there's not a lot of healing. The point of that is to try and shut down the Tracer and to try and increase the damage output of your Soldier 76, because one of the problems Soldier suffers with is the ability to rapidly kill targets. He doesn't have that securing kill potential of like a McCree. Well, McCree is banned, so you can't play him. But the big question is, why are these teams not playing Ashe? And the simple answer is, Soldier is just more survivable and he's more effective at this level of the game. Ashe would be fine if you were landing the headshots and getting all the kills, but that's not really the case. And also, this portion of the map, the second point, is absolutely phenomenal for Soldier. He can relocate all over the high ground. He can just get loads of work done. But the moral of the story here I'm getting at, guys, is this is radically different. Zen we've not really seen this season. Soldier we've not really seen this season. Tracer has been like, yeah, sometimes we see her. Radically different. Obviously the main tanks, again, we see Winston. We did see a bit of Winston in previous weeks, but not as much as we're seeing now. So what Houston have managed to do here is show off their flexibility and show off their ability. It's not so, well, it is flexibility, but it's their ability to rapidly adapt, and that's what's going to happen going forward with Overwatch League. So although this video hasn't been heavily focused on, we're not breaking down every single bit of minutiae and all of the minor details and all of that stuff, simply because we don't have the replay tool available just yet, so we can only watch back what the live broadcast has actually showed us. But obviously you guys can still see what's happening. We can still see the team comps and all of that stuff, and a nice little bit of play there off Bembest. Although I think he gets killed actually here, Bembest. Does he get out? I think he might get killed if my memory serves me right. But the fact of this video is I want to really press home the sort of like the point that that's an unlucky bomb there. But the point that Overwatch League now is a completely different beast. It is not ever going to be stale again. And the best teams will be the most adaptable teams, the teams that can rapidly change to whatever they've got to play that week. And the big kicker here is teams only know what will be banned for the next week 1 week before. So when this week's broadcast finishes on Sunday, what will happen is, so that was today as you guys are watching the video, what will happen is they will draw out from the tombola heroes that get banned, and this is going to be from heroes with a certain percentage of playtime. So it's not completely random. It's not like we're going to see Torb, Symmetra, and then very random heroes banned like that, and Hammond and a Lucio, for example. You might see Lucio get banned because he's got a high play percentage, and that's what will happen. So the heroes that are most played. So basically what this means is, for Overwatch League, is a meta will get established in a week. So we're looking at a meta here which seems to involve Soldier, and Soldier was played by a bunch of other teams. Toronto are playing loads of Soldier as well, and it's really cool to watch pros play Soldier, obviously because I'm a big fan of the hero. But if you go forward and you look at what's happening with the stability of the meta, it just isn't there. So you're going to see a bunch of heroes like your Winston, like your Soldier, and possibly your Ana, and maybe even, let's say, your Tracer, get banned next week. So those heroes can't be played the next week. Now, that means teams that, spoiler, guys, in this series, Houston 3-0 Paris, right? But Paris next week might be an incredibly strong team because the meta has changed in a way that makes them effective. And this is where the spice comes in for Overwatch League this season. It's going to be different every week. And I'm going to be totally honest, when this came back this year, the first week of the season, everybody tunes in, everybody watches. It's like, oh, Overwatch League's back. You see a meta sort of develop. It's fun. We talked about Genji maybe coming back. We talked about Dive maybe coming back. It didn't necessarily happen. We settled into like a Reinhardt May meta. Then we speak about that. And then that would generally be it for months and months of Overwatch League. And then maybe there's a change just before the playoffs. That's not the case now. Every single week is totally different. So even though the past 3 weeks of Overwatch League, and maybe 4 weeks, however long it's been going on for, have been very stale, well, not really stale. We get the enjoyment of the new meta, then we get to see the meta develop, and then the meta stagnates. The stagnation phase has been completely cut out of Overwatch League now, because it's like this. I could not have told you that we would be seeing a Brig and an Ana as a support line, or a Zen and a Brig as a support line. I mean, look at Paris. They are now using the Zen and the Brig on defense, but they're rolling with the Sombra instead of rolling with the Soldier. But Houston don't even have the Soldier on attack here. They've got Blase on the Doomfist, and there's all these little bits of, it's so cool this is to see. I could literally sit down and make a video hours and hours long explaining all the different interactions here between the different hero picks and why this is so great. One of the problems Overwatch has suffered with for a very long time at the pro level, and to some extent on the competitive ladder, although really it doesn't really matter on ladder, but the pro teams would just play the same comps, mirror comps, same comp into the same comp. And then we're really drilling down to go, okay, who is the best Zarya? When Goats was super prominent everywhere, the question becomes who is the best Zarya? And then we can look at all these little details. Who uses their shields better? Who's better with their ultimate? Who does more damage? Blah, blah, blah. And at the end, it turned out that Sinatra was the best Zarya, but was he the best Zarya? Was it just because he was in the best team? And then you can start going into all of that stuff. The point is, it's all over-the-top detail that nobody really cares about unless you're some super Overwatch neckbeard like me, and you're like, oh, wow, this is so cool. I mean, when I watched all of the I was going to say London Spitfire, but Seven Lions scrims and leading up to the World Cup, obviously a lot of it was based around a certain comp and trying to maximize that comp and looking for all the little micro plays and all. And it's really cool to see. But from a spectator's point of view, it's absolutely garbage because you're seeing the same heroes every single week. That will no longer happen with Overwatch League. You will see things that just come straight out of the blue. Now, Houston played last week, And Houston won a game last week. They beat Boston. It was actually a pretty close series. Did they beat Boston? No, they beat Toronto. Sorry, they beat Toronto. Houston beat Toronto. A bit of a shock, but it was a really good performance by Houston. So Houston were already saying, look, we're starting to sort our problems out and we're going to become better. And that was in the old meta. Now there's a completely new meta, and Houston have come straight out the gates and destroyed Paris. Now, you would have bet money on Paris beating Houston. I would have said probably 3-1 to Paris. Easy win, 3-1. But look at what happened. They got absolutely demolished by Houston because Houston adapted faster. The coaching staff adapted faster. The players adapted faster. They've got a more dynamic roster. Like, everything has worked in their favour. And suddenly, they no longer look like the worst team in the league. And this, to me, is really cool because what this means is going forward with the Overwatch League content that we can make on the channel, it's going to be fresh every single week. We're going to see comps that could be super strong, comps that are maybe super weak, teams that everybody thinks are great, but then they start losing games. Like, imagine if Shock start losing games and then Vancouver start losing loads of games because they get really unlucky with the hero bans and they can't adapt. To me, that seems crazy. Now, from the pros' perspective, this is hell on earth because they have to adapt all of the time. I think what will happen over time is they will sort of get these micro strats, micro metas developing, where they'll know what to do with certain heroes, and certain teams could specialize in certain different ways of playing, and then they start bringing them out to sort of, against each other, and it's all unpredictable. And then it really does come down to who are the sort of the best dynamic Overwatch team. And when you really go back in time and you look at the way Blizzard designed Overwatch, they wanted it to be about hero swapping. They wanted it to be about countering hero picks. What have the enemy team got? What can we swap to? It's never been like that at the pro level because everybody plays the same team and the same comp because they know it's the most effective. Now, though, it's not going to be like that. So we are very much, guys, going into the golden age of Overwatch League. Now, the thing that makes me a little bit sad about this is I think it's going to be super hard for Overwatch to get the viewing figures it used to have, where it was like hundreds of thousands of people were watching every single week. Now it's kind of struggling, but this is a step in the right direction. What I want you guys to do in the comments below is let me know what you think about this. This is super interesting to me, and I want to give a massive hats off to Houston as well. They've played incredibly well. It's such a great turnaround for them from just losing 5 straight games to coming back. That's awesome stuff. All right, guys, as ever, I am recording this from my hotel room because I'm waiting to get on a plane to go to LA. I wonder why I'm going there. Actually, I'm probably in the air right now as you guys are watching this video, so yes, beautiful. Getting some terrible airplane food, no doubt, and watching a garbage film. Yeah. All right, guys, I've been Stylosa. If you enjoyed the video, you can, well, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Remember that you can follow me on everything, which is @Stylosa, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Toodaloo.